Hey, how you doing there? I'm just a little brief thing is I'm going to record tomorrow for the radio station, 90.1 Snowflake, Arizona Radio Country. And this American cowboy is a legend, a real person. They've done movies about him. They've TV series. And the book I got a lot of information was written by him. And the man I'm talking about is Tom Horn Jr., actually, born November 21st, 1860. Born near Scotland, Missouri. Now, Steve McQueen did a great job playing Tom Horn and with Slim Pickens and um, other great movie actors. Tom, as a young boy, did not care for school, but he liked to hunt. And he would go out 2 or 3 days hunting without permission with his father's rifle. And what would be waiting for him when he got back with his game would be a good strong beating. One time his father beat him so hard he had to stay in bed for a week. But in school again, he could not keep his mind on schoolwork. He just dreamed of hunting. He stayed in Kansas. He left home when he was 14 years old. He stayed in Kansas City for 2 days and then headed to Newton City to work on the Santa Fe Railroad. He got $21 for 26 days' work. Excuse me. He kept heading west to reach Santa Fe in 1874, hired out for the overland mail route that went as far as Prescott, Arizona. That's about 120 miles west of where I live. And he drove the mail from Santa Fe to Prescott for $50 a month, $50 a month. They furnished him with a rifle. He would haul wood to Camp Verde uh, for $70 a month. Eventually, the Army hired him as a packer and a scout. And Al Siebert, a famous Indian fighter and not mountain man, but a Westerner. Robert Duvall plays that in a movie about Geronimo, plays Al Siebert. Gave him a job as an interpreter for $75 a month. Now, as an interpreter, within a year of leaving home at the age of 14, he could speak Spanish so well that the people thought he was Mexican. Tom Horn felt that Al Siebert was one of the grandest men that he had ever met. Eventually, under Miles, they rode into Geronimo's camp, and Geronimo, at that point, had somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 men. Now, the small boy took him into camp, and they looked after the horses because it was a peace talk. Women brought him wood to build the fires. So much fighting and killing, still common courtesy exists. Isn't that amazing? Common courtesy, flag of truth. And Geronimo once asked Tom if he could interpret, and Geronimo mentioned that he spoke very fast. And Tom told him, says, "You only have one tongue, so let's go at it." He was a good trader, and he saw a penny being made very quick, and they knew good bargains. Um, his shopping list: new rifle, bullets, calico for the women, and children. And that's Geronimo's shopping list, not his. Now, Al and Tom met that night, told Geronimo he'd like to talk. You asked for everything that I cannot give you. You left the reservation 2 times. You like war. You like fighting. I will take and protect your people back to the reservation, San Carlos Reservation. They impressed that the army could chase him to the ends of the earth. And Geronimo, as for the advice of Tom. And Tom mentioned that the Army can now go into Mexico, so they would chase him to his earth. One of his friends was Mickey Free, told Tom to go and stay with the Pedro and learn to speak Apache, and he did speak Apache much better than people like Al Siebert. I told you he liked to shop at San Carlos. Tom bought 8 horses between $12 to $20 each, and a saddle and bridle, which he gave to his Indian brother. Now, one of the sources I looked up believes that Tom had actually killed 17 people. In 1902, he was tried for the murder of a 14-year-old William Nicholas buried he's buried in Boulder Cemetery in Boulder, Colorado. 5 to 12 children. Tom had tried many different things. He worked his way up into Wyoming and got involved in the cattle wars. And what was going on up there, you could maverick a cow at one time, but it didn't mean you could do a whole herd. And mavericking a cow was just this. You found a calf on the range. If it didn't have a brand on it, you could put it on put your brand on there. But the ranchers had enough, and they hired Tom to try to get rid of the rustlers. He was supposed to encourage them to leave, but they wouldn't leave. Then he was to take them out. And he made a mistake, and he shot that boy. If he did it, he claimed he didn't do it. Up until the time of his death, he said he was innocent. And I read his book and tried to get into his mind, and I just don't think he could do something like that. I think maybe he might have had too much to drink and messed his judgment up. He bragged that killing men was his specialty, and he had cornered the market. Now, Tom, they went to try to appeal the case, the cattleman for Tom, but to no avail. So eventually came the day of reckoning. No one really wanted to do the job of hanging him, so they invented a gallows where he would go up, and when he walked out on the platform, it would trigger water, and the water would fill up enough water in another bucket that would spring the trap door, and that's how he met his maker. I'm going to put this on the radio tomorrow, and I haven't talked to you folks lately, and I thought this would be a good thing to do. So good night, and please come back, Cowboy Ron.